the way that the discourse around Greenland and President Trump right now, and obviously Canada being stuck in the middle geopolitically and geographically, there's so much that can shake down. We always have talked in the past about Olympics and the geopolitical situations in Qatar months out, like, could they still pull the tournament from Qatar, and all these things have gone wrong. Like, we're facing that real scenario with the United States right now, and I think that's insane. Because if certain things go the way President Trump has been speaking, there's a real scenario here where you have entire nations boycotting the tournament, and it would just be incredible to see it completely fall apart because of some political and/or military decisions that may come to pass in the next few months. And it's impossible at times to separate sport from politics as much as people would like, but all of us sports people were very well aware of the schedule and the timeline of Russia's invasion of Ukraine coming after the Olympics in Beijing, and I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that was very strategic. So yeah, the next few months are going to be very interesting to watch on both fronts, and I truly hope that we don't see a major impact on the World Cup, and we still get the tournament that we all hope for, and that this country has been waiting for not just the last 8 years, but for decades.
And unlike the Olympics, the World Cup hasn't really had major boycotts in the past. There's been 3 in the past. England actually boycotted to play a Nations Cup within the British host nations because they thought it would be better than the World Cup. I think that was in '62, if I recall correctly. But the boycotting talk has reached a volume that it hasn't reached before. Just this week, a German politician suggested that the German national team could potentially boycott the World Cup as a last resort, is the quote, if Trump doesn't see sense in the Greenland issue. And that's Jürgen Hart, who works as a spokesperson on foreign policy for the Christian Democratic Union, which is the Chancellor's Chancellor's Party in Germany. And that's, not the top person saying something, but that is someone that is involved, and it's clearly a topic of conversation, at least within some sects of the German parliament, that they could boycott the World Cup. And that is a massive country. And if they follow, then there will be other countries that follow. And if the U.S. actually goes into Greenland, I think this World Cup is going to fall apart quite quickly, Brennan.
NFP dad here with my old man wisdom and experience. Yes, in fact, there actually is already a post-nup comparable for what would happen if the United States military does put boots on the ground in Greenland. And I'll spare all the political and other economical parts of it, but yeah, UEFA as a whole would immediately boycott, and they would either go to war with FIFA over that logistically, but immediately all of those European teams would be out of the World Cup without consultation, question, or without any hesitation, and that would happen within, honestly, hours. It would probably happen within days. If there wasn't a resolution within hours, it would be very, very quick. So you could see some huge sporting implications by some of the decisions that U.S. administration is talking about making.
And even now, like Germany, they'll always be front of the pack, so to speak. We saw it last cycle with Qatar. That was, a lot of... They were very split on that in terms of going to Qatar. You saw it with Norway is another one this cycle. Obviously, there was, with their group, with Italy and Israel, there's a lot of tensions for Norway playing Israel, and they were very outspoken about how they felt about that issue. You're looking at those two countries specifically having already qualified. Because I know in Spain the discussions have been brought up, but Spain is so divided and split politically where it hasn't gone anywhere, whereas in Germany as well, like even now I'm just looking at the fact that Germany's got a friendly scheduled. Like maybe it comes to the tournament and they'll realize it might be tougher, but in terms of something like that friendly, that could even be a bit of an early message of, well, at the very least, you're not going to voluntarily go and implicate into that tournament, and maybe that extends into something more, or that also gets the wheels rolling on the other way, where it forces FIFA to be like, okay, shoot, these teams really aren't messing around in terms of how they feel and what sort of power politically they can wield.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a touch and go next few months, because I don't think there's anything that you can really guess that is happening in the world at this point, considering it's January 20th and we've gone through more than a year's worth of political events already, and we're only 1 year on from Trump's first talking about Canada as the 51st state, and last night he's posting on Truth Social about annexing Canada again, and you just can't make any predictions about the way the world currently is.